Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Rockefeller Plaza buzzed with its usual electric energy. Cameras rolled, fans screamed behind the glass, and inside Studio 1A, Sheinelle Jones smiled, radiant and polished, as she laughed alongside her co-hosts. Coming up next, Craig Melvin said, turning to her, Sheinelle takes us on a journey through some of the wildest TikTok trends. But not before we learn whether Al Roker's ready to join one. Sheinelle laughed. Al in a dance battle? That's the content America needs. Everyone chuckled as the segment wrapped and the screen cut to commercial. As laughter faded into background noise, Sheinelle's smile lingered, but her eyes flickered with something unspoken. She walked offset, removing her mic and stepping into the hallway. A quiet corner was all she needed. She closed her eyes. Today marked 1 year. 1 year since she lost Jordan. Her husband, her anchor. The father of her 3 children. He died suddenly at just 45. A silent heart attack. No warning. No goodbye. Sheinelle still remembered the way the doctor's voice flattened on the phone. How time had stopped. How her world had split in two, before and after. Part 2. The last normal night. It was an ordinary Thursday evening. Sheinelle returned home around 6:45 p.m., still humming from that morning segment. Jordan was in the kitchen, stirring chili, jazz playing softly behind him. The kids were scattered between homework and TV. He turned and smiled. Smells like television fame in here. She laughed and threw her arms around him. And you smell like cumin and cardigan, she teased. They talked about weekend plans, a family hike, a dinner reservation, maybe booking that overdue trip to the Finger Lakes. That night, they put the kids to bed, curled up together on the couch, and watched The Crown. She fell asleep against his chest. At 4:22 a.m., she woke up. His body was cold. Part 3, the silence after. The days that followed felt like swimming through cement. She'd returned to today 2 weeks later, not because she was ready, but because the silence at home was deafening. The show, with all its noise and brightness, kept her moving, breathing, but nothing felt the same. Jordan had always been her balance. He was a quiet listener, the one who brewed coffee and made pancakes shaped like initials on Saturday mornings. He called her Firefly because she lit up every room but needed softness to keep glowing. At the funeral, hundreds gathered. Colleagues, neighbors, church friends. Al Roker gave the eulogy. Hoda Cobb held her hand throughout the service. Her children didn't understand why their dad didn't wake up. Neither did she. Part 4. Live on air, breaking inside. It was a Tuesday morning when it finally broke through. Sheinelle was in the middle of reading a light-hearted story about penguins when her voice caught. Just a slight crack, barely noticeable, but she knew. The script blurred. Her heart pounded. Suddenly, the studio lights felt like interrogation bulbs. She whispered something to the producer and stepped off stage. In the dressing room, she crumbled. The sobs came in waves, deep and guttural. Jenna Bush Hager found her minutes later and held her in silence. I can't keep pretending, Sheinelle finally said. I'm not okay. And for the first time since the funeral, she admitted it aloud. Part 5. The letter he left. 3 weeks later, while sorting through Jordan's belongings, she found the envelope. It was in the drawer by his nightstand, labeled simply, "If I'm not around." Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was a letter, handwritten, dated 6 months earlier. My Firefly, if you're reading this, something's gone wrong. And I hate that I can't explain it. Hold your hand or make you coffee first. I don't know how I got so lucky. You were the light at the end of my tunnel before I even knew I was walking in darkness. Please don't stop shining. Even when it's hard. Even when the mornings feel impossible. Our kids will need your laughter. The world will need your stories. But please leave space for your grief too. Let it breathe. Let it teach you. You once told me you'd never survive without me, but you will, and you'll thrive. Because you are stronger than even you know. I will love you always. Jordan, she collapsed into the bed sobbing, letter pressed to her chest. But this time, it wasn't just grief, it was love. It was proof that she had not been left behind without purpose.